So I ranked the 2023 NFL teams. Let's really stir up the pot and let's rank some quarterbacks. What is up, NFL fans? Now, yes, like I said, throughout the offseason, I'm probably going to do a few here and there of ranking of NFL teams and kind of just talking about the AFC East and all that stuff. So you're not just going to get Miami Dolphins stuff throughout the offseason because there's going to be points where there's nothing to talk about, but I'm still going to give you content. So if you'd like to, hit that subscribe button after you watch this, and maybe you're like, hey, this isn't that bad. He kind of knows what he's talking about. Boop, and hit the subscribe button. And also hit the like button like this. Boop. Like when you guys said in the live stream, when you make the noise, it actually sounds, if it feels a little bit better. But yeah, we're going to be ranking the starting NFL quarterbacks, or not even starting, just the NFL. I got a list here. I'm just going to show you. So the way it works, you could say there's a lot, but I'm going to make myself a little bit bigger because I'm the star. We start from here. I'm going to put them where they go. So the way it works is they didn't really, they had this list here on the tier maker. I had this image here of all these quarterbacks, and I was looking at them, and this seemed to be the most up to date because you have like Sam Howell. Is that Sam Howell? No, that's Matt Corral. You have Hayden Hooker, Sam Howell. Like you have Will Levis. You have quarterbacks that could possibly start this year, like Ryder, Desmond Ryder here. Young. You have guys who could possibly start. So I'm like, all right, let me use this one, but I changed the tiers to my own, right? You got elite, all pro, starter, backup, too young to tell, which there's going to be a few that are going to be put into this category, and yikes. I don't know how many yikes we're going to have, but there's going to be some yikes in there, meaning that you're just bad. You're not a starter. You're not even a backup. So without further ado, we're just going to jump into this. We're going to start, like I said, from here over. You got Josh Allen. He sucks. It's, an unbiased take. I'm going to put him, I'm just kidding. Josh Allen is a very good quarterback. Josh Allen is top 5 quarterback in the NFL. He has ridiculous athletic ability, his speed. Now, again, I'm going to take my Dolphin. I'm not even wearing Dolphin stuff right now, but I'm going to take my bias, put it aside. Josh Allen is top 5, top 10 quarterback in the NFL. It is the God's honest truth. He does still have some accuracy issues. That's something that has plagued him through his whole career, even through the first couple years of his NFL career. He tends to miss targets, right? They bring in Stephon Diggs, really helps. The guy can catch literally anything, and all of a sudden he gets better at it. But he still has a ridiculous arm, ridiculous legs, great physical frame. So to me, Josh Allen, he's an elite quarterback. And to me, I put him up there because he has played at a top level for consistent years. That's, to me, is what makes you an elite quarterback. You're playing at a top level for, let's say, more than 3 years. And to me, Josh Allen has been playing at a top level for more than 3 years. You got Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, drafted to the Browns. He's been bouncing all over the place. He was with the Panthers, and then he was with the Rams. Now he's with Tampa Bay. To me, Josh Allen's a backup quarterback. Now, I know with the Bucs, he's probably going to start, but to me, he's going to be that journeyman quarterback, and to me, he's not the type of quarterback anymore that you're going to build a franchise around. So to me, he's a backup. And he's a really good backup, but he's a backup. Then we got Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, rookie year, got hurt. Then his second year, going to the Super Bowl. And now his third year, he goes to the AFC Championship game. He had a horrible offensive line, but he's got a lot of weapons around him. To me, he's not elite yet, but he's definitely in the all-pro category, being that we've seen his play. We've seen him elevate, and especially in the playoffs when it comes to you need to elevate, I'm definitely putting him in the all-pro category. Then we have Derek Carr. See, this one is hard for me, right? Derek Carr to me is not elite. But is he all-pro or is he just a starter? And what I mean by just a starter is he's a capable starter, right? he won games and he did really well and he got his team to the playoffs. Did he go to the playoffs? I think he went to the playoffs. But he hasn't really done much. You know what I'm saying? Hasn't really wowed you. Now he's with the Saints. He's going to start for them. What can he do there? And again, that's where me on Derek Carr is. Did get an All-Pro in 2013, but one time, I'm going to put him as starter. One time, he's been in the league for a hot minute. He got an All-Pro once. He's been to the Pro Bowl a few times, but we've seen even Xavier Howard said that Pro Bowl don't mean much. Next, we have Matt Corral. To me, we don't know who he is. Unfortunately, Bryce Young got drafted to the Carolina Panthers, so he's not going to get a shot, which sucks, right? Because he's not going to get a shot. Bryce Young, that's his team now. Matt Corral, I'm still going to put him in the too young to tell. We haven't really seen much out of him, so he's too young to tell, but he's not. I don't think he's going to get that opportunity. He's going to have to go to a different team, but is there enough out there for him to go to a different team to potentially be a starter? I don't know. Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott to me is not elite. Is he All-Pro? Out of his 7 years in the NFL, he got 2 All-Pros. It's just his interceptions are just hayawata. It's like, who do I think is better, Dak Prescott or Derek Carr? I'm going to put Dak Prescott in the All-Pro category. I'm going to get a lot of people push back on that one. He has one more All-Pro than Derek Carr, been to the playoffs more. I'm going to put him up there. Andy Dalton, I don't really need to think about it. You're a backup, my man. Just the way he played with the Saints this past season, he's 100% a backup. Sam Darnold. I don't want to put him in that yikes category, right? Because Sam Darnold shows flashes. Sam Darnold shows flashes where he can. So funny, he had so many Panthers on here. Sam Darnold shows flashes that he could be something, but he's definitely not a yikes. I'm gonna put him as a backup. I don't think he's a yikes. I'll be surprised if you got many yikes on here. I don't think he's a yikes, but yeah. They got Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones. He's a starter. To me, he's not All-Pro. He's definitely not elite. He's a starter. Definitely could become All-Pro. He had his off years. He had his bad years. But we'll see. He got a fat contract. We'll see. Justin Fields, to me, definitely a starter. Borderline All-Pro. He's got the legs. He's like kind of a young Josh Allen. Got the legs. Needs to work on this accuracy a little bit. But yeah, definitely trending in the right direction. He's not too young to tell because we already know what we're getting with Justin Fields. Then we have Geno Smith. Geno Smith had a fantastic year, but that was 1 year. Before that year, he's a backup through and through. I'm throwing him in the backup category. He's backup for multiple teams. He came in, did his thing. Backup. Does 1 year change your perception on him? That's where my thought process is. I'm going to throw him in as a starter. I'm going to say that 1 year, as well as he played, definitely deserves that little bump. But if I could put him like here, I'd put him here, like right in the middle. But I'll give him that. Jared Goff, good year last year with the Lions. Not great with the Rams after they went to the Super Bowl. Definitely going to put him as a starter. You're going to see a bunch of starters, right? Because there's a difference. Like I said, you got backups. You got starters. Starters are guys who are capable of winning you games. They're your starting quarterback. They're not All-Pro. They're not elite. They're your starters, right? They need to work to get to that higher level. that's where Jared Goff is right now. He played at a very good level, and if he continues to play like he did last year, he's potential to be pushed up to All-Pro or Elite. But right now, he's just that guy. Taylor Heineke. Unfortunately, my man, you are a backup. To me, anyway. You have good games and you have bad games. And he's the type of guy. These are the type of guys that you need them to come in for a game or two to help you win. They're perfect. But if you need them to play 17 games, they're going to lose you about 8 or 9, maybe more. So there's your backup. Justin Herbert. I like Justin Herbert. I think Justin Herbert has fantastic physical attributes. I think Justin Herbert has a great arm. He has great legs. Big. He's just the prototypical quarterback. Here's the thing about Justin Herbert, right? And, dog. Won Offensive Rookie of the Year. Put up stupid numbers as his rookie year. But a lot of that, and people hang their hat on those numbers, doesn't or didn't equate to anything. Finally gets in the playoffs last year, and the whole team, and again, I'm not blaming just Justin Herbert. He does deserve blame, but the whole team collapses in the second half against the Jaguars. I will say this, and this might be a little bit knock. Your defense gets you 5 turnovers. You only score 1 touchdown. 1 passing, 1 rushing. 5 turnovers. You got to do better than that. And also, he had 3 different drives in the second half in the fourth quarter to put the game away, and they couldn't push it in. Again, it's a team sport, but you're the starter. Now, you look at Joe Burrow and you look at Justin Herbert. Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl his second year, and Joe Burrow went to the AFC Championship the game after with a garbage offensive line around him. Justin Herbert is putting up numbers. That's his thing. He's going to throw for 4,000, 5,000 yards. He's going to get you the touchdowns. But how many times, like, why? Again, it seems like, okay, a lot of people will say, well, look at the team around him. Look at his defense. Look at this. So does he need things around him to take his team to the playoffs? And the reason I'm talking this so much about Justin Herbert is, to me, I'm torn between starter and all-pro. Because he puts up all-pro numbers, but the end result isn't all-pro. You know what I'm saying? Dak Prescott in the playoffs. Joe Burrow in the playoffs. Josh Allen in the playoffs. You notice that the guys underneath and just starters weren't consistently in the playoffs. Justin Herbert is putting up all-pro numbers, but he has a hard time of getting in the playoffs and winning that game. Again, I wish I had a tier in between. I made the tiers, but I wish I had a tier in between all-pro and starter. And I would put him there because he's just below, for me, he's just below all-pro because he got the numbers, but he doesn't have the end result. I'm going to put him in all-pro. I'm going to give him that slight push-up because of how good his numbers are. But again, you got to do better. Hayden Hooker, just drafted, too young to tell. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how he does. I'm excited to see how he does, but he's too young to tell. Same thing with Sam Howell. We really haven't seen much out of him. But it seems like it's his team now with the Commanders, so it's going to be very interesting to see how that all pans out. Jalen Hurts goes to the Super Bowl. I'm just going to flat out, I'm putting him here, right? Because you went to the Super Bowl. He's not elite, but he went to the Super Bowl. I will say this, right? And this isn't me tearing him down. This isn't a knock on him. It's just the Eagles are very smart. If you guys go back and look at a lot of articles, a lot of analysts, a lot of reports from the 2021 end of the year Philadelphia Eagles, what they did was they had multiple firsts this year because they didn't know what they had in Jalen Hurts. They put a perfect team around him, and then they said, show us who you are, because if you're not who we think you are, they were going to draft a quarterback this year. I'm not making that up. Go look it up. And they put the perfect team, to a T, the perfect team around Jalen Hurts, and he thrived. And he took that team to the Super Bowl. Because you saw what happened in 2021 when he didn't have the perfect team. So he's definitely an all-pro. You go to the Super Bowl, you do your thing. I really want to see how he does if you take that perfectness away, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen this year because they just keep adding good teams. Jimmy Garoppolo went to the Super Bowl, but other than that, right, he's with the Raiders now. For me, he's borderline backup / starter. I'm going to put him as a starter, but we'll see. Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins. I like Kirk Cousins. And Kirk Cousins puts up. People underestimate this. We're going to do something real quick. Look at Kirk Cousins' numbers. He puts up good numbers. 33 touchdowns. Only Pro Bowls. No All-Pro, right? 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. 26 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. 35 you know what I'm saying? 4,500, 4,200, 4,200. Just constantly putting, even when he was with Washington. 69.8 completion percentage. Over 4,000. Almost 5,000. Over 4,000. Over 4,000. 3,600 then. 42, 42, 45. He puts up numbers. But he's never been voted to the Pro Bowl. So I can't put him in the Pro Bowl, All-Pro, if he's never been voted there. But Kirk Cousins he puts up numbers. People underestimate Kirk Cousins. Kyler Murray. Technically, he's a starter. And technically, he got paid because he has those attributes of speed and everything. But Kyler Murray, I could put him in the backup role. He has not been playing good lately. I'm going to be nice. I'll be nice. I'll put him in the starting role. Lamar Jackson, All-Pro. He's not at that elite level yet for me, especially because he has a hard time winning those playoff games, but he's definitely 100% an All-Pro. That's an easy decision. Been banged up the past few years, so he needs to stay on the field, but Lamar Jackson got the money. He deserved it. Dynamic player. Easy to put All-Pro. Will Levis, too young to tell. He was just drafted. It's going to be very interesting to see. Jordan Love. He's too young to tell. He is Aaron Rodgers. He's essentially, the Green Bay Packers did the same situation where Aaron Rodgers sat for 3 years. Brett Favre said he was going to retire. Didn't retire. Got traded to the Jets. Then Aaron Rodgers came in, started second year, took him to the Super Bowl. Same exact thing just happened. Sat for 3 years. Rodgers traded to the Jets. Now it's your time. So next year, Packers are going to win the Super Bowl. We'll see what he can do. Can he pan out? They didn't really put much weapons around him again, but let's see if he can pan out. They put 2 good tight ends, though. They did draft 2 good tight ends for him. Mac Jones. I'm going to be nice. Mac Jones is definitely a starter. He is the starter. There's a lot of turmoil coming out of the Patriots with him and Belichick, and finally bring back Bill O'Brien, so he has a legit offensive coordinator. He had a defensive coordinator last year. That's why, there was a lot that he had to deal with, so I'm going to put him as a starter. This one's, the easiest. He's elite. 2 Super Bowl MVPs. How many times did they go to the Super Bowl? Definitely all. He is the number. You make a list of top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. If you don't have Patrick Mahomes as the number 1 quarterback, you don't know football. Plain and simple. Matt Ryan. Is he still playing? Right. And Matt Ryan 5 years ago, I'm putting him All-Pro, possibly elite. Matt Ryan right now, he's a backup. He ain't that good. Davis Mills, backup. I wouldn't put him in the yikes category because he can win you some games and he's got the arm, but he's a backup with that long neck. It's draft 2.0. Pickett, too young to tell. Had a decent rookie year. Just got a lot to, build off of. Brock Purdy, too young to tell. Brock Purdy was put in a perfect situation because Kyle Shanahan knows how to work with young quarterbacks, and he didn't ask him to do too much. Just throw it to this guy, do what you got to do, play smart football, bada bing, bada boom. There you go. And there you go. So, but he's too young. It's definitely too young to tell. Anthony Richardson, Too young to tell. Just drafted. But these are like the future of the NFL, right? These are your young guys coming in. Then you have Desmond Ridder. Again, too young to tell, but now it's his time with the Atlanta Falcons. Is he gonna, is he gonna make the Falcons regret not taking one of those quarterbacks when he had the chance? Will Levis, one of those guys, were available. We'll see, but it's his reigns. Aaron Rodgers, that man is elite, doing it forever, consistent All Pros, Super Bowl MVP, back-to-back league MVPs. He's elite. He's 100,000% elite. Bad year last year. Is he, like I said, is he done mentally? 90% said he was going to retire before he went to his darkness retreat. We'll see how he pans out for the Jets. But even regardless, he's definitely elite. Russell Wilson, Super Bowl win. He's definitely all pro. 100% all pro. So bad. It's like, it really tarnishes. And some of his play, I'm going to put him at all pro just because some of his play really makes it hard to put him at elite. And you got Matthew Stafford. He definitely is all pro. He's got a Super Bowl ring. Again, these two guys could very easily be put up here. But he definitely has a Super Bowl ring. It took him going to the Rams to get one. Got hurt last year. Kind of had a decent up and down season. His career, if you look here, he has one AP vote. One Pro Bowl. Other than that, he puts up great numbers, but it really never equated to much besides when he won the Super Bowl. So I'm putting him at all pro. CJ Stroud, too young to tell. That's very easy, but I'm very excited to see what this young man can do. Ryan Tannehill, at this point in his career, is a backup. Even when he got traded to the Tennessee Titans from the Miami Dolphins, I always said he wasn't a bad quarterback, but he wasn't good enough to get the Dolphins to where they needed to be. So many people said, oh, Tannehill sucks. I'm so glad he's gone. No, he never sucked. And you saw that with Tennessee. But at this point in his career, to me, he's a backup. He's a guy that you put in, he'll win you a few games, but you start him, it's going to be hard. Trevor Lawrence, 100% a starter. Not all pro yet. Had a fantastic bounce back year last year, but definitely not a starter. I mean, not all pro or elite. Then we have Kyle Trask, another guy, too young to tell. It's going to be very interesting what he does in Tampa. It's going to be him versus Baker. They're going to be competing for starting position. It's going to be very, very interesting. And then you look at we'll get to it. Then you have Trey Lance. To me, Trey Lance is too young to tell. He never really got a shot, right? He got some exposure and it was good, but he got hurt. He never really got a shot. And it seems like he might not get that shot with San Fran because if Brock Purdy comes back, Trey Lance, my brain, might not get an opportunity to touch the field again. He might get traded. So too young to tell, but we'll see. Tua Tagovailoa, 100% unbiased. That man is a starter. 100%. When he's on the field, especially this year, he showed what he can do. Did he have bad games? Yes. He had a horrible game against San Fran and LA. The second half to the Packers game was the reason we lost that game. I'm a Dolphins fan, obviously. But he showed that he can be a top 5 all-pro quarterback. But the man can't stay healthy. To me, that's the biggest knock because he's still learning and he's finally in a system that's, predicated to him. I made a whole video about that. And I think he can be really good. He just got to stay healthy. You stay healthy, you get all that play time, you continue to grow, you can be an all pro. But it's the health is keeping him out of that all pro category. He was in MVP talks, mid-season, bye week, MVP talks. And then he got hurt. So right now he's a starter, but like a lot of these guys on here, like Daniel Jones, like Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones, like these guys, they're young and they can get up there, Just got to get out of their own way, especially Daniel Jones, especially Mac Jones. Huh, how about that? And Tua. Then we have Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson with the Texans a few years ago, definitely all pro. Right now, to me, he's just a starter. He needs to brush that rust off, and he needs to show that he can get back to that Texans form. But right now, I'm going off of right now, hence why Matt Ryan is a backup. He's just a starter, and he needs to show he can bounce back. Wentz, he's a backup. He's not the guy he was. Then you have Young. I don't know why he took me. He's too young to tell. But look at this. Panther. Got 3 Panthers on here. And then finally, Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson. Yikes. And I didn't make that yikes category just for Zach Wilson. I thought there'd be other guys on here that I could throw in that yikes category. But there really isn't. But Zach Wilson. Yikes-a-rooney. But that's my tier list. What do you guys think? You think some guys should have been put up in that elite category? Like I said, I was very close to putting Russell Wilson and Stafford up in that elite category. Those are 2 guys I was very close to putting up there. And then there were some guys I was very close to putting in the all-pro category. But other than that, besides Russell Wilson, Stafford, and maybe like Kirk Cousins, moving him up one, I'm actually pretty happy with my tier list. Comment below, let me know what you guys think. Do you like the tier list? Do you think, wow, Doug, it's hot garbage? What did you do here? You need to do better. Comment below. You guys did. Let me know I didn't have the Jaguars in the playoff team, and someone had to win that division. Comment below. Let me know, and I will see you guys in the next one. Also, let me know what other tier do you want me to do. You want me to do defenses? Do you want me to do wide receivers? Do you want me to do running backs? Comment below. Let me know what other tier lists you want to do. We got a long way before the start of the season. We get about a month of no football. So comment below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Per usual, stay classy. And Vince up.